This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the month of April 2019. April promises to be the pivotal month of the year and one of the most in our lifetimes. It treats us to another blast of fog and then blammo, we get clarity, unmasking, focus, action, and deeper than deep purging, change, restructuring, and brace for it, destruction. We can't stop any of this, but only make it worse. That's not your choice, right? Or position ourselves to work with it. The ground beneath our feet is reshaping. It has been for years, slowly and inexorably, and the process is now at a point that can and will not be ignored. Systems, patterns, rules, and dynamics are giving way in families, in relationships, in goals, in institutions, in all manner of situations and arrangements into which we have put our faith and trust. A magnifying glass is revealing cracks, rot, and decay, misunderstandings and confusion, and much, much worse. Lies, deception, and cover-ups, betrayal, corruption, and crime. It's becoming clearer what is truth and what is an illusion, what has integrity, durability, and lasting value, and what is a house of cards. As much as you can, approach it all with awe and wonder. Instinct, intuition, and guidance of magical proportions are on tap, navigating us through the chaos. They can show not only where to tread safely, but also where to place faith and trust in yourself and in your connection to something greater than yourself. Out of chaos and confusion comes clarity. The fog burst is revealing a lot of what was really going on during Mercury's recent retrograde, which took him from the pain-drenched end of the zodiac, where Chiron hung out in January and February, to the middle of Pisces, where February's new moon took place. The burst comes from the last of 3 conjunctions between the cosmic messenger and Neptune, lord of transcendence and illusion. The first occurred February 18, the second, March 24th. We will quickly see that many recent events and statements were not as presented, as spin dissipates into truth. Perceptions are likely to change of events and particularly communications you experienced from February 18 through March 28. Pay particular attention to evolving information about the Mueller report, which Attorney General Bill Barr received as the second conjunction was building and issued a letter about on March 24th when the second conjunction perfected. The letter spawned sensationalistic, conclusory announcements and reporting about a report that hardly anyone was in the position to have actually read. Don't be surprised if the initial impression changes drastically with and after the final conjunction on April 2nd. We will begin seeing what the report actually says and means. Higher, more loving, more forgiving attitudes are also possible with Mercury conjunct Neptune. So are heightened inspiration, creativity, and dreaming. Those potentials get another boost when Venus meets Neptune in a super conjunction on April 10. The 2 guardians of love, earthly and higher, color our vision with gauze and glitter and enable us to see poetry and divinity in the beings around us. Cleaning out the basement again. Much that happens this month is clearing the way for evolutionary developments that play out into next year. The month is one long coming attractions trailer for the big event that launches 2020, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn. They're gearing up by meeting the South Node in Capricorn this month. Pluto's going first, working over the spot that represents the past and what we're leaving behind, only a smidgen off the degree of his January 2020 meeting with Saturn. With the Lord of Death and Rebirth plowing through solid earthly turf, the Earth is moving literally and figuratively. Plates are shifting. Earthquake alert. Teetering situations are imploding, collapsing from within, or crumbling from little more than a puff of wind. Watch huge and long simmering changes hit governments, financial and religious institutions, corporations, goals that have run their course, corruption, sexual misconduct, the patriarchy, the old guard, and societal conventions. Some have already been tested or cracked, some have already more than hinted at their decay and decline. Pluto's effect could have the delicacy of cleaning out a failed root canal. Some are parts of the cycles of nature. Authority and responsibility are passing from one generation to the next, with the next one making pronouncements of change, much as the crown prince does as his father is dying in The King and I. Elders are on their way out, which probably involves a flurry of departures of cultural icons. Potentially unpleasant or painful, yes, but also extremely valuable in the long run, and more unavoidable than the weather because you won't be able to escape it by taking cover. It will follow you wherever. Face and embrace this, and oh, the simplifying power you will enjoy. Pluto's conjunction with the South Node will encourage, read, force, prioritizing, streamlining, and focus. Use the energy to clean and clear and purge and go within. No matter how much work you've done, more awaits. Likely you were feeling this well before April's start. Closets, basements, psyches, all are up for deeper cleaning than you've done yet. Really. Warning, Pluto's plow could dredge up fears, terrors, phobias, obsessions, compulsive thinking, and worse. So have your inner work tools on hand and use them. You'll come through this more aware than ever of what matters most to you, more appreciative of the people, circumstances, and resources that you do have, and willing to drop clutter and distractions. Inspirational movie, you can't take it with you. Out of chaos comes order. Pluto's work is most intense the first 4 days of the month or so, but lingers throughout April. Saturn follows starting on the 21st. The planet of adulting is cleaning up the rubble and restoring order. He's containing the changes with structure, obligations, responsibilities, and commitment. Actions have consequences, and watch for them to pop up like mushrooms after a rain. Saturn rewards work and responsible action, true, but he's also bringing a cosmic 2x4 and karmic retribution, as if to grind his heel and say, and I really mean it. He stations retrograde during his conjunction to the South Node on April 28. You can run but you can't hide is one outgrowth. Another is plenty of time to assimilate his dictates and restore order. We don't have to rush. In fact, we can't. Shoves in the back. Lest our spirits flag, the month delivers motivation aplenty. The Aries new moon on April 5th demands self-reliance, standing up for yourself, taking risks, and taking action instinctively without indulging in overthinking or thinking at all. This just do it moon hits like a cosmic cattle prod because it exactly squares the Capricorn new moon solar eclipse that launched the year. A powerful new phase dawned then, resetting and upgrading goals and more. This new moon kicks us further down the path. The new moon's aftermath mid-month compels us to push through fears, initiate bold, life-changing action, and reshape our identities. The pace picks up after April 17, when Mercury clears all that Piscean water at last for the life-enhancing fire of Aries. Our minds are quicker and more responsive. Communication is more feisty and impassioned. Messages are more in-your-face and argumentative. Some of it has a salt on wounds impact. Mercury is crossing over Chiron and Aries and triggering challenges to step into autonomy, self-reliance, and self-realization. We're all acting and reacting and hopping when Venus joins them on May 20. The sun may be moving into slow, steady, show-me Taurus that day, but he's under the command of Venus, who is now in huntress-warrior mode. Relationships are feeling the burn. They land in the fire before Venus changes signs. During the build-up to the full moon she rules. The Libra full moon at the last degree of the sign on April 19 brings another head to the rebalancing, renegotiating, calibrating that last surfaced at March's Libra full moon at the sign's first degree. Venus is in no mood to wait, stint on what she wants, or put up with much of anything. Neither are we. With her crossing Chiron as well, we're not taking guff from or waiting around for anyone. Our interactions are a series of one-act plays in short attention span theater. Compromise isn't on the table. Everyone is self-focused and self-starting and willing to shake pretty much everything up. With the Sun meeting radical change agent Uranus on April 22nd, we're all breaking out of shackles, perhaps self-imposed, and both thinking of and presenting ourselves in wildly freeing ways we may not have ever foreseen. The clean-up, clean-out process has lightened us so much that our concept of self can snap open to previous impossibilities. We're uncharacteristically poised to counterpunch lies, delusion, and worse, as Mars in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces at month's end. Saturn and Pluto are both stationing retrograde, about to take us deeper into the month's restructuring and reordering. Mercury and Venus in Aries are blazing toward the trigger point of Uranus's exit from Aries and entrance into Taurus last May. They'll detonate it, one after the other, next month, then meet up with Uranus themselves. April showers will, metaphorically, bring May flowers, indeed. On a mundane note, Venus in Aries will set women on fire and see them taking control of conversations, the collective narrative, and the news. Keep an eye on politicians, prosecutors, and attorneys general, and in particular, the Attorney General for New York State. You'll find short guided visualizations and other tools for navigating all of this at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can also sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. There's also bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm deeply grateful to the patrons who are keeping Astro-Insight from going behind a paywall. I am Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. You'll find me on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group The Astro-Insight Lounge, and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian Channel.